Lisa Leslie, your former LA Sparks great, USC basketball star, she told the truth to Angel Reese face to face. Kind of embarrassing for Angel Reese, but she told her like,
In my season 2, what's some advice that you would give for me?
Season 2, I can't wait to work with you some more. The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups, period.
She did her best, but I tend to think this is a tiny bit embarrassment that someone that considers herself the face of the WNBA, the second biggest star in the WNBA.
Imagine inviting a Hall of Famer onto your podcast thinking it's going to be all laughs, some feel-good advice, and then boom, she drops a full-on truth bomb right in your lap. That's exactly what Lisa Leslie just did to Angel Reese, and not in a petty, messy way. I'm talking classy, composed, and absolutely surgical.
He literally got called out for missing layups. I mean, on her own damn
Lisa pulled up, defended Caitlyn Clark like a big sister protecting her own, then turned around and gave Angel Reese the kind of real talk most players never get, especially not on their own mic. I'm serious, this wasn't just a moment. This was a power move wrapped in wisdom. If you thought this was going to be another boring sports debate, think again. Because what went down wasn't about picking sides. It was about legacy, leadership, and one of the most graceful mic drops the W has ever seen. Let's get into it. All right, let's talk about what Lisa Leslie actually said. Because it wasn't just support, it was a full-blown endorsement, and it carried some serious weight. Lisa didn't dance around the topic. She went straight to the heart of it. Caitlyn. Clark deserves the love she's getting, period, and you could tell she meant every word of it. This wasn't some fluffy political answer. This was a Hall of Famer speaking from a place of truth and experience.
The big deal is about the fact that Caitlyn is getting a lot of love. She deserves that, and she's helped change this game, just as a lot of other players have. But it is what it is, and I think that we are all benefiting from the...
She said, and I quote, "I don't know what the big deal is about the fact that Caitlyn is getting a lot of love. She deserves that, and she's helped change this game." Now, pause there. Because those aren't just nice words. That's Lisa Leslie, a foundational voice in the WNBA, basically telling everyone who's been side-eyeing Caitlyn's spotlight, yo, chill. She earned this. And what's wild is, Lisa didn't just praise Caitlyn for the scoring, or the hype, or the record-breaking views. She went deeper. She praised how Caitlyn is moving through all this attention. She pointed out her humility, her respect for the legends that came before her, the fact that Clark regularly gives flowers to past players, without being told to. Lisa literally said she appreciates how Caitlyn shows up, how she's lifting others while rising herself. You could hear the message underneath. While some players are out here mad about airtime, Caitlyn's out here giving credit, spreading the spotlight, and showing the world how you grow the game. With grace. And then came the real gem. Lisa made it clear that this isn't just about Caitlyn, it's about what Caitlyn is doing for everyone else. We are all benefiting from the effects that she's had on the game. Read that again. We are all benefiting. That's not favoritism, that's facts.
You want to see more WNBA people saying this, and it's just so obvious.
Because Clark's presence is pulling in new fans, filling up arenas, breaking viewership records, and shifting media attention to women's basketball in a way we haven't seen in decades. And Lisa, she sees the big picture. She's not caught up in petty rivalries or who's getting more screen time. She's thinking legacy, growth, elevation. She even pointed out that Caitlyn doesn't make it all about her. She uplifts her teammates, credits those who came before her, and plays with a kind of fire and unselfishness that reminds Lisa why she fell in love with the game in the first place. This is coming from a woman who dunked before it was trendy, who built the platform so today's players could stand taller. So when she says Caitlyn Clark is the real deal, you listen. And what makes Lisa's words hit even harder? It's not just what she said, it's when she said it. Right in the middle of a media firestorm, where every other day someone's throwing shade at Clark, Lisa showed up with clarity and class. No bitterness, no hidden jabs, just truth. She basically stepped into the room and said, enough with the noise. If we really care about growing this league, we need to recognize the people who are actually doing it. And guess what? Caitlyn's doing it. Now, just when you thought Lisa Leslie was here to hand out flowers and move on, she hit the brakes, looked Angel Reese dead in the eye, and dropped the line that had everyone gasping. On Angel's own podcast, in a setting where Reese had full control of the conversation, Lisa didn't just sit back and give safe advice. Nope, She brought the truth, and not the polished, Instagram-friendly kind. I'm talking about the kind of advice that makes you sit up straighter and rethink your entire off-season plan. Here's how it went down. Angel asked a totally normal question. Going into my second season, what's some advice you'd give? Me? Harmless, right? You expect a keep grinding, maybe a stay focused, something nice and vague. But Lisa, she didn't flinch.
Going into my season 2, what's some advice that you would give for me?
Season 2, I can't wait to work with you some more. The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups, period. Like, we're going to fix that.
She smiled and said, the biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups, period. Yup, layups. Simple, brutal, necessary, and the delivery? Flawless, calm, no shade, no sarcasm, just that classic cool big sister energy like, I love you, but we're fixing this today. Now let's pause right there because this moment, this tiny little sentence, blew up online. Not because Lisa was being mean, not because she embarrassed Angel, but because of what it represented. You invite a legend onto your show expecting legacy talk, a few compliments, some empowering girl talk, and instead, you get a masterclass on accountability. Lisa didn't sugarcoat it. She said it with love, but she said it straight. We're going to fix that. That's fixable for you. And let's be real for a second. Lisa's not wrong. The internet has been talking about Reese's missed layups for months. There are entire compilation videos going viral, clips of her bricking shots right under the rim. And we're not talking contested shots. We're talking bunnies, wide open looks. The numbers back it up too. Reese shot an abysmal 39% from the field. And on shots less than 5 feet from the basket, she was below 50%. That's not great, especially for a 6'3" forward who lives in the paint. But here's what makes this moment so powerful. Lisa didn't drag her. She didn't laugh or pile on. She coached her. She pulled the curtain back and said, you've got talent, but your fundamentals need work. And that's rare. That's valuable. Because no one else is saying it publicly, at least not with this kind of care. Most of the time, young stars get coddled. Everyone's too busy protecting brands and egos. But Lisa, she's more interested in building players than protecting feelings. She didn't just say, fix your layups. She followed it up with a plan. 300 shots a day, muscle memory, routine, rhythm. This wasn't a roast. This was a blueprint. And again, on Angel's own show. Let's just appreciate the dynamic here. This wasn't ESPN. This wasn't a media scrum. This was Angel inviting Lisa into her space, her platform, and Lisa used it to build her up by calling her out. That's not disrespect. That's leadership. That's what growth looks like. Because real ones don't hype you up for clicks. They sit across from you and say, you're good, but if you want to be great, here's what needs to change. And Angel, to her credit, she didn't cut it from the episode. She let it ride. We'll talk more about that in a bit, but right now just know, this wasn't just a moment. It was a turning point. Now, here's where things get a little deeper. Because yeah, on the surface, Lisa Lesie told Angel Reese to work on her layups. But if you really listen to how she said it and think about the timing of that advice, you realize she might have been hinting at something bigger. This wasn't just about missed shots. This might have been Lisa subtly asking, is this mental? Because what Angel Reese is dealing with, it might not be about footwork or form. It might be what athletes call the yips. If you don't know what that is, the yips are like a glitch in your brain. It's when something you've done perfectly 1,000 times suddenly becomes impossible. Your muscle memory short circuits. You're right under the basket, totally open, and somehow you miss. Not once, not twice, consistently. And no one knows why. It's not your legs, it's not your hands, it's your head. It's the reason pro golfers suddenly can't sink a 2-foot putt. It's why baseball players start overthrowing first base. And in basketball, it usually shows up right where Angel's struggling, around the rim. And here's the thing. Lisa didn't say yips out loud. She didn't have to. Her tone said it all. It was supportive, but serious. She said it like someone who knows, this isn't just physical, it's psychological. We gotta fix that. That's fixable for you. She wasn't throwing shade. She was cracking open the door to something that no one, especially young stars, ever want to admit. I'm struggling with something I don't fully understand. And let's be honest, it makes sense. Angel Reese just went from college icon to WNBA lightning rod. Every move she makes is under a microscope. Every shot she takes is either a highlight or a headline. That kind of pressure, that'll mess with your head. And Lisa, she knows. She's been there. She's played under pressure that most of us can't even imagine. She knows what it's like to carry a team, to carry a league, to walk into a room where no one's betting on you, and still show up. That's why her advice hits so hard. Because she's not just saying fix your layups. She's saying, it's okay if this is mental. It's okay if you're in your own head. But it's not permanent. Let's fix it. And let me tell you, that kind of honesty in professional sports is rare. Most people either avoid the mental side entirely, or they wait until a player breaks down. Lisa? She's addressing it now, early. While it's still fixable, she's saying what Angel might not want to hear, but what she probably needs to hear. And that right there, that's not criticism. That's care. So here's the part that a lot of people missed while they were busy reacting to that layup comment. Lesie didn't just pull up to Angel Reese's podcast to call her out. She pulled up to build her up. Because right after she said, "We gotta fix your layups," she followed it up with a list of what Angel is doing right. She said Angel's outside shot is improving. She complimented her ball handling. She gave props to her defense and hustle. This wasn't a teardown. It was a performance review, the kind you get from someone who actually wants to see you win. That's the difference between shade and tough love. Shade is passive. It's petty. It's sneak dissing on Twitter or talking slick in interviews. But what Lisa did, that's mentorship in real time. She saw Angel's potential and spoke to it. Loudly, directly, honestly. And here's the beautiful part. Lisa didn't sugarcoat anything. She didn't pretend that missed layups don't matter. But she also didn't act like it defines Angel as a player. She said, that's fixable for you. Not, you're broken. Not, you're disappointing. Just, here's the gap. Now let's close it. That's what separates Lisa from so many others in the league. She's not scared to tell the truth with kindness. She's not sitting on her accolades acting superior. She's using her platform to reach back and pull players forward. Because think about it, she didn't have to say any of this. She could have played it safe, said all the nice PR-friendly things. But instead, she took a moment that most people would have turned into flattery and turned it into accountability. And you know what? That's rare. In today's sports world, where branding is everything and criticism is seen as hate, Lesie is out here reminding us what real coaching looks like. She's showing everyone, including Angel, that growth doesn't come from yes men and soft talk. It comes from uncomfortable truths delivered with care. And Angel, to her credit, she took it. She didn't get defensive. She didn't edit it out. She let it breathe. That alone says a lot. We'll get to that in a minute. But right here, right now, this is what mentorship should look like in the WNBA. Not silence, not fake support, but truth with love. So let's take a step back here. Because while the internet was busy choosing sides, Team Clark or Team Reese, Lesie was playing a completely different game. She wasn't looking at one player. She was looking at the entire league. When she said Caitlyn Clark deserves the attention she's getting, it wasn't just a compliment. It was a business move. A truth bomb that so many people don't want to say out loud. When one of us eats, we all eat. And that right there, that's not just a quote, it's a playbook. Lisa understands that Clark's rise isn't taking away from other players. It's bringing new eyeballs to the entire league. Let's talk facts for a second. Caitlyn Clark has sold out arenas, shifted WNBA game locations to larger venues, broken college viewership records, sparked a media frenzy that's flooding the WNBA with more attention than it's had in years. That's not hype, that's impact. And Lisa sees the forest, not just the tree. She knows that attention on Clark means more TV deals, higher ticket sales, bigger endorsement money, and a new generation of fans tuning in, not just for Caitlyn, but for the league as a whole. So when other players are out here side-eyeing Clark's national TV schedule, Lisa's basically saying, you're mad about camera time? You should be thanking her for the cameras even being here. It's not a diss, it's reality. And it's smart, because here's the truth. Every great league needs a breakout star. The NBA had MJ, the W had Lisa, and now it might just have Caitlyn Clark. Lisa's message is simple. Don't fight the spotlight. Stand in it. Share it. Grow with it. She's not saying Clark is the only one who deserves to shine. She's saying Clark is opening the door. Now it's up to everyone else to walk through it, and that's what makes Lisa's approach so powerful. She's not just defending Clark. She's defending the idea that visibility isn't a threat. It's an opportunity. Because the moment women's basketball becomes a mainstream conversation, everybody gets a seat at the table. Veterans, rookies, role players, everybody eats when the game grows. So no, Lesie isn't playing favorites. She's playing chess. And she's reminding the entire league that elevating one player isn't the same as ignoring the rest. It's about momentum. And right now, Caitlyn Clark is the wave. Lisa's just smart enough to ride it and encourage everyone else to do the same. So let's clear something up right now. A lot of people on social media are acting like Lesie chose a side, like she picked Caitlyn Clark over Angel Reese, like she's showing favoritism. But if you've really been paying attention, you'd know that's not what's happening here. Lisa isn't playing favorites. She's building a framework, a system where greatness gets recognized, where mistakes get addressed, and where nobody is above being coached, no matter how many followers you've got or how viral your clips go. Because here's what Lisa actually did. She praised Caitlyn Clark for her humility, her impact, and her respect for the game's history. She critiqued Angel Reese for an area that needs real improvement, finishing around the rim, and she did both with grace, honesty, and the intent to elevate. That's not favoritism. That's leadership. Lisa's not out here gassing people up just because they're trending. She's not tearing anyone down to protect her legacy. She's setting a standard for what the WNBA needs to thrive: accountability, skill development, and mutual respect. She's showing us what real mentorship looks like, because a lot of vets, they'll either stay silent or throw subtle shade. But Lisa, she'll look you in the eye and tell you the truth. You've got talent, but here's what's holding you back. Let's fix it. That's rare, and that's real. And let's be honest, if you're an athlete trying to be great, isn't that what you want? Someone who's been where you're trying to go, showing you the gaps you can't see yet? Lisa isn't here to hype anyone. She's here to build the next generation. She's not putting Clark on a pedestal. She's acknowledging that she's raising the bar. She's not coming for Angel Reese. She's helping her level up. It's not personal. It's foundational. It's not clout. It's constructive. And if more vets followed this model, the league wouldn't just grow, it would evolve. So no, Lisa Leslie's not choosing sides. She already picked the sport, and that is the difference between favoritism and framework. If there's one thing that became crystal clear after that podcast episode, it's this. Lisa Leslie isn't just talking, she's teaching. What she gave the world in that interview wasn't a hot take or a soundbite. It was a blueprint, a real practical framework for what the WNBA's future could look like if more leaders stepped up the way she just did. Because here's what Lisa understands better than almost anyone else in the league. You don't build a successful WNBA by coddling talent. You don't grow a fan base by shielding players from critique. And you definitely don't inspire greatness by pretending everyone's already perfect. What you do is this. You celebrate the stars who are moving the needle. You hold space for honest conversations, even when they sting. And you create an environment where truth isn't seen as hate, but as a tool for growth. That's exactly what Lisa did. She embraced Caitlyn Clark's impact, because let's face it, you can't grow a league without growing its audience. And Clark? She's doing that at a historic level. But Lisa didn't stop at applause. She turned around and gave Angel Reese a gift. Real, actionable feedback. Not just to embarrass her, but to elevate her. And that right there, that's the blueprint. Because the WNBA doesn't need more stars playing it safe. It needs more leaders pushing players to reach their full potential. And Lisa didn't ask for permission to do that. She just did it. On Angel's platform, on her time, in front of the world. And the craziest part, it worked. Because instead of editing it out or clapping back, Angel Reese let it stay in the episode. She owned the moment. That alone shows growth. That shows a willingness to evolve. And that's how the blueprint works. Praise when it's earned. Correction when it's needed. Always with purpose, always with respect. Lisa Leslie didn't play favorites. She played the long game. She didn't just defend one player or humble another. She set the tone for the future. Because real leadership in women's basketball, it doesn't just make headlines. It builds legacies. So now the question is, was Lisa Leslie out of line, or was she exactly what the WNBA needed? Because let's be real, this wasn't just a defense of Caitlyn Clark or a critique of Angel Reese. This was a moment, a message, a masterclass in how you grow the game and still hold people accountable. Lisa didn't sugarcoat. She didn't tear down. She told the truth, with love, and that takes guts. But what do you think? Did Angel Reese handle it well? Was Lisa too blunt? Or was she just being the mentor every rising star needs? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're reading all of them. And hey, if you respect real talk and want more moments like this broken down with no fluff, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Because this season, the WNBA isn't just leveling up on the court, it's evolving off it too. And we'll be right here for all of it. Click the next video on the screen and we'll see you there.